Dear Mrs. Chairperson of the Hellenic Capital Market Commission, dear Mr. Ouzounis, distinguished guests, I extend my sincere thanks to Georgeson and Ethos Media for their kind invitation. Representing in this occasion the Hellenic Bank Association, the advocacy of the banking sector, I would like to start with a remark that the Greek banks were the first to have implemented in some extent all the core elements of the corporate governance. And let's remind which are these elements. Corporate governance provides the structure of the relationship between proceedings and all the members of the company's board, stakeholders, shareholders, etc. A quick view in the compliance of the Greek banking sector to the existing requirements of the corporate governance. First of all, the CRD4 is fully applied on the composition of the boards of the Greek banks and also on the structure of their risk committees and of their audit committee, and finally regarding the appointment of the new members of the board as well as the remuneration policy. It is true that the regulator, after the financial crisis in 2008, considered that the structure of the banking sector should be deeply reconstructed regarding the corporate governance in order to avoid any future risks. In this context, I would like to say that Greek banks have, additionally to the CRD4, to be in compliance with the national legislation regarding the Hellenic Stability Fund. As long as the Hellenic Stability Fund is a shareholder of the Greek banking sectors, then they have to be double assessed, not only by their supervisor in Frankfurt, but also by the Hellenic Stability Fund as well. That means that the national law sets some requirements regarding not only the skills and knowledge of the members of the board, but as well of their nationality, a point which can be highly disputed. Now let's come to the new intentions and the plans of the Greek banking system. In order to fully implement their internal structure and the corporate governance requirements, banks have to transfer the corporate governance requirements to their borrowers. That means that the corporate governance of the borrowers shall be taken into account during the credit policy, and the companies who shall not be in line with these requirements, they shall have no access to the lending. I consider this point to be the most challenging issue of the corporate governance in Greece. We do have already from 2002 the legislation for the listed companies. We do have a full transformation of the guidelines recently by the law 4548 of 2018 in Greece. I consider what we are still missing is to not to impose, but to have the understanding of the whole environment and of the whole business community, how we may proceed. In the fact, the high standards of corporate governance don't provide protection only to shareholders, to investors, to government, to the Capital Market Commission, but first of all, it is self-evident that they protect the business of the company, giving them all the passport for their future business. Thank you very much, and I wish ever success to your event.